Hello and welcome to Perspectives, where we'll take a deep dive into the issues of the day and where we'll take a look at people's opinion on such issues. I am Ruth Osime. Welcome back to Perspectives here on Arise News. Today we are discussing reality, the reality of life from the perspectives of our guests and analysts. Starting on a lighter note, our first set of guests have been part of various reality television series, and they include Chioma Ikokwu, a barrister, entrepreneur, and philanthropist with over 15 years of business experience. As CEO of Good Hair Limited and co-founder of various ventures, Chioma has expanded globally while also championing women and children's development through the Good Way Foundation. With accolades like Beauty Entrepreneur of the Year, she's recognized for her business acumen and charitable endeavors, also delving into fashion and entertainment with ventures like Chioma's Closet and Real Housewives of Lagos. Chioma is passionate about travel, food, and family. Her multifaceted approach underscores her success in both business and personal endeavors. She has appeared on reality television, which may sometimes portray a hyper-realistic version of life. By the way, Chioma is also being joined here by Nwachukwu, a renowned and award-winning TV presenter, actor, model, and events host. Uti, who hails from Abo in Delta States, gained international fame in 2008 as a housemate in Big Brother Africa. In 2010, he won Big Brother Africa All Stars, marking a breakout year. Uti excelled as a presenter on African Magic's Jara and hosted various TV shows. He's a successful model and philanthropist. Uti has played a pivotal role in changing perceptions about reality TV talents in the entertainment industry. With a vibrant career, he continues to thrive and inspire. I'll be speaking to them today to get a deep sense of what the experience is like and how they keep themselves authentic after the cameras are no longer running. A warm welcome to you both on Perspectives. I have a feeling that I should be the one being interviewed because, I mean, yeah, right? Two of you are the real stars here.
Oh, wow, no. Really?
Modesty. Okay, who do I even start with? Okay, let's start with you. First and foremost, I have to like this, your hairstyle.
Oh, thank you.
Can I feel it?
Oh, of course.
Oh, my God. That's very interesting. Okay,
Thank
to
you.
begin with, you left Big Brother House about 2008 or something. You know? And there's this issue about 15 minutes of fame.
Oh, yes.
And the inability to have staying power is almost impossible. People just get famous for anything. You are famous for being famous. So I want to ask you, how have you managed to keep yourself in the mainstream media after you left? Have you sustained your relevance, so to speak?
I think for me, it would be authenticity. I don't perpetuate the facade of false packaging and, you know, pretense and then orchestrating events to make me look a certain way or all of that. I think I've stayed true to myself over the years since I left the Big Brother house, and I'm a down-to-earth person. I'm someone who believes in the talent that, you know, I was born with. I'm someone who does not take opportunities lightly. I guess for me, I can't really give a certain formula to say, oh, this is what I did. However, what I would say is it starts with humility. It starts with approaching different people, collaborating and all of that. I remember when I first started, when I first left the house and, you know, I used to attend events and, you know, photographers will take my picture and blogs will post it and people will be like, oh, he's everywhere you go, yada, yada, yada. MTN should sign him. It was me, it was Toke, it was Karenigo back then. And they did not understand what we were doing because you go for these functions, you meet producers, you meet talent
you were also
managers.
marketing your brand.
Networking and marketing. Is not. I wasn't just going there to look pretty, you know, and
which you are, though.
Tokyo, you know, and then in Nigeria, you know, people have a way of looking at reality stars as, oh, they don't have talent, they just want to look good on TV.
Yeah, but you don't blame them because sometimes, I mean, the
overexposure
certainly outweighs talent.
But then you also have the people who are intimidated by you, and I don't mean to sound, you know, proud or haughty, and, you know, some people just look at you and be like, well, that one even talk to me. Are you ready to work? I remember approaching a lot of producers back in the day, and they're like, are you sure you're ready to work? I'm like, yes. So, didn't you just win Big Brother? Go and enjoy your money. I'm like, no, this is the time to start working.
Yes, it's good that you said that. Now, let's bring Chioma in. You're in a very popular show called Housewives of Lagos. And of course, needless to say, your scenes are very interesting. There's always this fight and argument, and people love controversy, people love fights. So I have to ask you, is that how it is in real life, or do you people exaggerate just to garner more viewership?
I think some of the cast members maybe exaggerate their personalities, for views and visibility. But yeah, some of the ladies are like that.
Okay, so you go in there knowing that for you to make the episode interesting, you must pick up a fight, or do you plan it beforehand?
I personally don't do that. I try to avoid the fights. I stay away from that. If anything, I'm more about empowerment and just kind of like getting along with other women. But not every other cast member is like that. So sometimes, even if you're clear-minded and you're sort of going there just wanting to have a good time, good conversation, you have other people that will start some sort of drama because they either want that publicity or they're just that way inclined.
Yeah, but are you friends? Are you friends in real life?
I'm friends with Iyabo and I'm friends with Tanya.
Oh, okay. Now they've said that. Okay, let's now go to the area of bad publicity. Some will tell you that any news is news, whether good, bad, or ugly. Do you understand? So, in your case, which I would also ask you, how have you been able to handle bad publicity?
Have I been able to handle bad publicity?
Or have you had any?
Of course, I've had bad publicity. Although they'll tell you all publicity is publicity, yes, like you've said. I think it still goes back to authenticity, knowing yourself. The thing about people talking cack about you is... One thing I've learned is that the people who have decided to not like you will always look for reasons to not like you.
That's true.
And the people who have decided to be by your side, who have decided that they are fans of you, true fans, not the Nigerian version or how major, yes, they flip-flop, and the idea of being a fan of you is to say, bros, give me money. Do you understand? I'm talking about true fans, the ones that really love you, support you, will support anything you do. Those ones will always look for reasons to keep liking you, hence the defense and the back and forth you see online. I don't subscribe to negative publicity. For me, I will use the Gen Z lingo and say I catch cruise with it.
What does that mean, catch cruise?
Catch cruise is have fun with it. As long as it's not like major defamation, like when you talk about, accuse you of rape
these comments are vicious.
That's what I'm saying. They're horrible. So for me, because you will break down, because mental health is real. If you take them, if you absorb them, you will break down. So if it's not serious, like murder or rape or, things in that horrible category, yes, you have to just have fun with it. You have to be able to retort when you have the time. But if you don't have the time, most times I'm too busy to even look at these things. But when I have free time, I'll tell them, today I have people's time. That's the catching cruise.
Now that you
I have
said
fun
that.
with it.
But what about you, Chioma? Have you been able to handle bad publicity? Has it affected you?
I ignore, so I don't entertain it. For me, mental health is key.
So do you not read your comments?
I mean, sometimes I do. I mean, if I'm being completely honest, I'm a very strong person. And if something isn't true or it doesn't necessarily affect my day-to-day activities, I don't give it any attention and I don't give it any thought. I don't respond to negativity. I don't reply, because sometimes you have trolls that will come online and say defamatory things about you. I don't respond to them. I give it no attention, because also I find that when you feed it, it grows. So even with bloggers,
of course.
if you act like you care or you're bothered or you start to respond to them or fight them, they come for you back to back and they attack you even further. So I just completely avoid it, and I think honestly I'm too busy with my actual day-to-day life. With my businesses, the amount of employees that I have, my foundation. Just kind of like doing the things that actually make me happy. It occupies my time, so I don't really, pay attention to the negatives.
Okay.
But it does come. It comes with the territory.
One thing I must also ask, Chioma, when I look at a lot of you young influencers and I see how busy your pages are, the amount of changes with your clothes, the amount of makeup that you have to wear, and it's very fascinating and very interesting. But I cannot but wonder that how much time does it take to constantly feed both your pages, especially as a woman, because there was one you did with 3 of your friends and you were all in black, and I thought it was so fascinating. I mean, it was enjoyable to watch, but people don't realize the amount of work that it takes to create content that will make viewers addicted to your page. So on average, how much time do you spend doing this?
It takes
and also when you travel abroad too, do you have a photographer that follows you around to take pictures?
I actually don't. Most of my content is just from my phone, so you can't be my friend if you can't take pictures of me. If you're not willing to get down on the floor on one knee and get the right angles, you can't be friends with me. So all my friends, luckily for me, are very similar to me in the sense that they also love to take pictures and dress up and look nice. And even those that don't, they're happy to sort of like, create my content.
But is it something you do every day?
So not every single day, for the most part, because obviously I do have like events that I attend. So I make the most of the events that I go to. If I have a function to go to, I tend to create content on that same day.
Okay.
So obviously I would have had to wear makeup and get my hair done. So I just create I throw in some of the content that I needed to create, on that particular day. So it's like killing two birds with one stone.
Okay.
And then other days, when I go to work and I'm really super busy, I don't have time to do all that
Are you
stuff.
like this even when you go to work? Perfectly
To be
made
honest,
up?
I used to, but now that I wear so many hats and I have so many new businesses that I've opened, including my foundation, honestly, I don't. I just wear my joggers, my t-shirt, my sunglasses, and I pull my hair back.
Do you take pictures on those days when you're not wearing any makeup?
I don't. I don't. Let me be honest, I don't.
Now, also speaking of staying power, UT, another side of being in the public eye, another place that people don't really acknowledge is having a good manager. So I don't know, do you guys have a manager that manages your programs or your events for you? Because a good manager can also promote your brand. So I have to ask you, you've never had a manager?
Do you want to go first?
Have you never had a manager?
Yes, I've tested some managers.
Okay.
My problem, and don't get me wrong, they are great managers in Nigeria. And when I do meet one, I will stay with
So
that
you haven't
one.
met one that is good
No,
enough?
I'm just saying, Nigeria can be vicious. And there are a lot of managers who also want to be superstars. So instead of putting the talent in front of them, they put themselves side by side. Yes, and most times they don't even want to do the work because
So why are they
you're
managing
getting
you?
calls, you're getting calls, you're getting emails, and you're literally paying them for transferring the calls and emails to them. Some of them, I'm not saying all of them. You're literally, as opposed to them going out to find work and coming to you to say, "Yo, I got this opportunity, and I think you would benefit from it." So when I have people that are like that, instead of tying me down, I will say, okay, you get your percentage if you have any work. Because I think I came from a time where it was very easy. It was easy and hard at the same time to build your brand. Easy in the sense that if you shone brightly, the jobs came, right?
But isn't that good for the manager?
Like you just said, do they get you work? Do they, all of that? Are they doing their jobs as the manager? For me, I think a manager should go out there to manage you.
Okay.
It's not just to help you manage your calls and your emails, but to also bring opportunities to you, to help you network, to help you market your brand.
Yes, you're very right.
Yeah, but a lot of them want to also be the superstars. You see some managers
Yeah, but
trying
they
to
don't have
address,
talent now. That's
but
why
they
they're
try
the
to
managers.
address the talent. They try to be controversial in the news. They try to outshine the talent. And I'm like, wait a minute, and I see this happening with musicians, with actors. I'm like,
Okay, especially with musicians, there's always that clash. But anyway,
Yeah.
we're going on a break soon because I'd like to get your view on that as well, Chioma. So please, we'll be right back. Don't go anywhere soon. Get your coffee and come right back to Perspectives. See you soon. Welcome back to Perspectives. Now, Chioma, considering what you just said, have you also had issues with a manager?
I think I just haven't found anyone that I feel is personally suitable for my brand. My brand's very international. I have a very diverse following on Instagram, TikTok, Snapchat, and I know what my audience like to see. I know what they appreciate, the level of quality, in the work or content that I put out. And I'm not saying that they're not great managers in Nigeria. They probably are. I just haven't really come across anyone that I feel like is personally fit for my brand and can take me to the next level.
Okay.
In
So
the
you've never
entertainment
used a
lifestyle.
manager?
I've never had a manager, no.
Please,
I have a PA and an EA.
Oh, okay.
And that kind of works, and I just bounce work
Now,
off of both of them.
One
but-
curious question: your wardrobe. Can you repeat what you've worn before? Once you put it out there.
Not if I posted it, no. I can't. I don't.
So what now
post it.
happens?
So that's why I have Chioma's Closet. I take it straight to Chioma's Closet and I sell it at a very discounted rate.
Oh, really? So, at a really discount, as in if the outfit, for instance, is worth like 300,000 or 400,000 naira, how much would you sell it for in Chioma's closet?
Maybe like 120.
Okay, that's a good one. Do you do the same?
I just give them out, but I should start selling it. You know, I actually thought of it, like some of my iconic AMVCA outfits. Unfortunately, I'm giving them out because
you could even have a charity.
Yes. Now that's a great idea. But for me though, I would repeat my clothes as much as I want to, because I'm a man. For men, it's easier. I mean, like, respect to women. Like, I watch some of their content. I'm like, Jesus, like this will take a lot from me. I know how much effort I put into making just one video, even if it's just a transition video. I'm like, I'm not doing this again for the next 2 weeks.
And they say, imagine doing it on a daily basis.
Yes, and then for me, I like to. Some people will say, oh, you're controlling, but I like to do a lot of things myself. So sometimes I edit the videos myself because
I edit all my videos myself.
Exactly, because I'm not. You might do it one way. I'm like, I don't know. So I'd rather just do it myself.
Okay, you edit your videos yourself.
Oh yeah, that
does. Even now, I'm trying to let other people
do it.
Yes, but I am a control freak. I like things to look a certain way.
Exactly.
I don't like to go back and forth, so I just kind of do it myself. But it's so time consuming, and I just don't have the time.
Exactly.
Okay, one thing I would have to ask is that you guys obviously are not in the category of the 15 minutes of fame. You've taken your fame to the next level. So you've also grown businesses and you've also expanded into other areas. So how has this fame, do you think that your fame has helped you heighten your other business aspects?
I mean, absolutely. That's like free publicity. I mean, even from the first time I went to the Big Brother, I told, and I would say it, I know a lot of people don't believe it when I say it, but I wasn't thinking about the money. For me, I was like, I need a platform to show what I can do. Like, it's like free marketing for me, plus entertainment. I went there to have fun and to, get the accolades and the fame and what else to establish my brand. So, free advertising.
But even whilst you were in Big Brother house, which was how many years ago?
2008 is how many years ago? Please help me do the math. So
16?
let me go to 2010. Yes, so 2010 I won. That's 14.
So more than about 16 years ago. And you're still looking this good.
Thank you.
Yeah, but whilst you were there certain things that you intentionally did to make sure that your presence was felt? Did you go in there with that mindset?
I think right from secondary school, I always just stood out. I've always had like high energy.
Well, subtlety is definitely not your strongest.
No, it's a fact. I'm very self-aware. I don't engage in false modesty and all of that. If you are a shining star, you are a shining star. Yeah, like I don't have to show myself. I step in, and then people are either really loving me or not liking me at the same time from doing nothing.
Same.
So I've had to accept
they love me or they hate me.
They hate me.
There's never an in between.
So there's no middle
There's no middle ground.
Yeah,
people either love and they're obsessed with me, or they're like, who does she think she is? And it's like I've done absolutely nothing. I don't have to do anything.
How have you been able to manage that kind of perception?
It's their insecurities. I can't control if you feel insecure about yourself. You know, and sometimes people look at you and you are a projection of everything that they're not. They want to be. You know, and I find that people tend to criticize what they're not able to do. You know, so
they can sleep better at night.
Exactly. So the issue is not always on you. It could just
be
about the person.
So you trigger their insecurities.
I cannot control that.
But now that you say that, how has that affected your personal relationships? Especially if you're in a relationship. How has been in the limelight? What role has that played?
Do you mean like relationships like man-woman?
Yes, man-woman.
Oh, romantic.
Where do you
go? Mine is.
To be quite honest, for me, I think that, being in. So just to circle back to your previous question in terms of like business and entertainment, for me it happened in the reverse. I was always a businesswoman. I'm a lawyer. I run multiple businesses. Going into entertainment just came as a result of the fact that I love to dress up and I look nice, and I think they just felt like I'm TV worthy, you know, and then I agreed to do it. So even being able to juggle that has been extremely difficult for me because I'm used to just like being one-way focused, business, work. So now with entertainment, I guess I also didn't realize how demanding it was in terms of having to get ready, look a certain way. It takes so long to film. I think people don't realize the amount of time that it takes to get a production together. It takes forever. So if anything, even though I've gotten the visibility where people, more people know me internationally, I don't feel like I have as much time to focus on my businesses, So I think now trying to balance both is where I'm at the moment. And I think the solution
too. How do you balance that?
So that as well is an issue for me in terms of like just being able to create enough time for your relationship, as well as your businesses, as well as entertainment, which is so demanding. And I think for me, the worst part is not really being able to decipher at first sight who wants you because they really like how you look and they want to get to know you, or, you know, they love the fact that you're a superstar and they want to benefit from the clout. And trust me, they all look the same. They all have the same face. You can't tell the difference off the back. The same exact raps, you know, same everything. So it's very difficult, you know. So for me, even though I'm a very discerning person, I feel that I've started to lean a lot more into God, you know, to just give me that extra level of discernment to be able to tell who's genuine and who's not genuine. And not just for men, just even women in general, people that you come in contact with every single day, friends.
That you get into your space.
Yes.
Do you feel the same?
I do feel the same way.
So you feel that some of these women or some people come to you because of who you are?
It's not just about relationships, it's friendships. I've had great friendships. I've met some of the greatest people I've known in my life, even after being a star, becoming a star, sorry. Unfortunately, Nigeria has taken them away from me. They had to go and hustle and jackpot. So it's just a cycle that I said, okay, I'm not going to repeat. And what she said is true. You have to lean on God for the spirit of discernment. So me, I'm very intuitive now. I can almost tell, but then, of course, you'll be called paranoid. And that's also their strategy, to sort of like break you down emotionally so you think you're the problem.
Yes.
But you can actually see through them. You're like, in about 2-3 days of talking, you know, there's a way they act. There's some things they say. There's some things they do.
And you'll be like, that always give it away.
Yes. And you're like, And then every time I've ignored the red flag thinking I'm doing too much, I've come to regret it later. Because I always go back to say, that first week when we became friends, or that first week when we started flirting, these were the red flags. So the thing you first fear, and I've learned to listen to my intuition, which is scary because sometimes it feels like you're looking for bad things in everybody, but you're not. It's just like if there's sugar, if there's fake honey on the floor, ants will gather. So if you are someone who has the anointing of God to be someone, doesn't have to be an entertainer, you don't have to be an entertainer, whether you're a politician, a successful businesswoman, you would attract people who just want to take. And unfortunately, we're in a country where a lot of people just want to take, which is why the slightest thing that happens between people, the first question they ask is, what have you ever done for me? Why should I do anything for you if you were just my friend or lover? Apart from, validating, I don't even need to validate your emotions. Yes, I need to reassure you that I have feelings for you, but it always comes down to, what have you bought for me? How have you helped my life grow? I'm just like, that is not my responsibility.
I don't think it should be that bad. I think
it is that bad.
Like minds attracts like, like attracts like. You should learn after a while to ascertain the people that you consider your contemporaries.
It's the learning process, I'm telling you now. I'm not saying that's what's happening to me now.
So bad. Okay, maybe now.
No, but you know why? You come from a different generation.
Okay,
from the millennials, it changes. Yes. I don't even know how Gen Z is handling theirs now, but it has changed. And I think the economy also plays a major role. And that's why most times you see a lot of people online, and it's this quest and love for money. Some people have become famous from doing absolutely nothing but displaying wealth online. Yes. And when you see people pan to them, and you're like, oh, so this is what they want, which goes back to what I was saying, where they will ask you, what have you done for me? And you're like, is that why you befriended me? Is that why you dated me? For me to do something for you? So for me now, when I meet someone, I listen. I'm very, very, very conscious about my energy. I'm very self-aware. I know what I want. I know who I want around me. I'm very intentional when it comes to picking people. That's why I do not have a lot of friends, but the few friends I have are great. And that's why most of the time when I travel out is when I have the best time of my life. However, I am beginning to manifest great times in Nigeria. I've manifested some great people even in Nigeria. So,
Anyway, let's have a last word from Chioma.
I think,
what is your approach now when it comes to friendship and long-term relationships?
I think for me, I hate having to be conscious of the way that I behave. I'm not the sort of person to, try and manipulate a situation or overthink things before it happens. I'm Cancerian. We're natural lovers. We're very emotional. So when I meet people, I genuinely want to be your friend and have a relationship and, just be easy with it, But I find that more and more with the spotlight, you have to be, as Uti said, a lot more conscious, in the way that you relate with people. So now you're listening out for red flags, you're looking out for red flags and pink flags, and I think it makes things very, very complicated unnecessarily. And if I can actually say that that's probably one of the, disadvantages of being famous or being in the spotlight, you know. But like I said, for me, I just rely on God. I feel like there's just certain things that you can't depend on your own human understanding or knowledge of. I pray all the time. You know, have a Bible study session.
Yeah, it's good to
you
pray.
know,
It's good to pray.
I'm very, very spiritual, very, very prayerful, and that's kind of like what I depend on when, you know, I meet somebody. I pray about it, and trust me, if the person's not genuine, God shows them up.
Oh yes,
in a heartbeat.
and then from nowhere, sometimes you just fall out from nowhere. From
nowhere.
something very simple, can be
Yeah.
something as simple as a cupcake.
Yeah.
And then they say like unnecessary things, and you're like, but we're just talking about cupcakes. Where did my controlling personality and all of that come from?
They show themselves ASAP.
Yeah, they do.
I wish we had more time
That's what
to
God
talk
does.
to both of you. Thank you so much for being here on Perspectives. But the underlying factor is that you must have talent and stay in power.
Plus
after your 15
spirituality.
minutes of training. Of course, plus a heavy dose of
spirituality
and a strong sense of intuition. So thank you so much, Chioma, for being with us today, and thank you so much, Beauty, for being with us today. I must try this hairstyle.
Anytime.
Give me your address.
I'll give you your hookup.
Thank you
I'll
so
give
much
you the
for being
hookup.
with
No
us
shaking.
on Perspectives.